So we're going over handling in high heat with muskies, and in another video I talked about how you really want to totally minimize any kind of out of the water handling, essentially from the mid 70-degree range to upper 70s. Essentially I recommend total water release, no photos, no in-boat measuring, the things that are standard procedure before. And I know it upsets some people to hear maybe like an anti-bump board type of stance on this, but I don't care what kind of measuring it is. The whole idea that a fish has to be measured accurately inside the boat is fine and dandy, I guess, in cooler water temperatures, but you are literally taking a chance on killing fish during the hot water period. So here's how I would suggest handling it. And let's say we got a muskie in there right now. One of the first considerations is the head of the fish breathes. Might sound a little simplistic, but it's important. See the musky lure hanging here? That's what happens in a lot of cases. You've got the fish's head held out of the water by the lure, even though you got plenty of water down there. People tend to celebrate and not think about these things. Anytime in hot water a muskie's head is out of there, you got to immediately get that fish's head back in a horizontal position. So if you can do it with pliers, fine. I've suggested barbless hooks. They're easy to pop out. If you don't have barbless, cut the hook, get that fish back in the water. Now, if you really do want to have a measurement on it, that's one thing that's neat about this new Clam Colossus net. You've got a huge area. You've essentially got a cradle down in the bottom of that net that sits down in the water. But what that allows you to do is, with a really big fish, you're still able to slide a floating ruler in there with that fish still in the water and get a measurement with it. Floating ruler is an absolute great tool. Believe me, you'll be able to get down to like 1/4 of an inch. That's definitely all you really need to know. Nobody needs to know down to 1/16 of an inch how long a fish is. It's not going to make a difference in anyone's life. This is a 54-inch or just something I had laying around just to give you an idea. You can measure even a really big fish in a net like this if you really want to. So at that point, hold out of the water photos are great. I'm guilty of it. I'll be the first one to tell you that I like to do it, but I will not do it when the water is warm. And holding them out of the water for photos is just as bad as measuring out of the water for photos. So that's something that I choose to do normally, but I do not do when the water is a little bit hotter. So if you want a photo, release only, but essentially all you're doing at that point, you've got that fish off. You just roll the net down. You can have the fish by the tail. Your partner can get a picture of you holding it with the tail, and hopefully it's going to swim off real strong. That's the way I would suggest handling release in the high heat.